Yes, child rape in occult secret societies here in France has been rampant anyway, and France pretty much follows the American model. I mean, we're part of the empire, so it's exactly the same way it works here. What I have a question before we go to we're going to switch directly to the mind control part with Disney and so forth, because you mentioned Disney, so it's very interesting. What do you think of the counterculture, the hippie movement, in the 70s? Was in the New Age movement, wasn't that all part of the flower power and sexual liberation to fight against the war mongering and the wars in place already in those days? Wasn't that CIA sponsored and triggered and with all the drugs experiments with the LSD and so forth? Wasn't that all part of the CIA think tank, in fact?
There's a lot of information that supports the fact that the CIA was involved. A lot of information. But again, the 60s, we're talking about the first generation, actual generation that believed the lies of Kinsey. So you can't get to the one without stepping, from the other. And I would have to even say that CIA agents, remember, would have been trained the same way. They would have been trained at the universities. They would have been trained to believe that garbage. And believing that would allow them to accept a lot of other things as well, about their own capacity for being super capable, super everything. And by the way, you were right about the eugenics part of Kinsey. I think the eugenics part is something that if I had been able to do the research, I would have explored the eugenics aspect of that much more. But I was cut. My research was cut. So not my research, but anyway, it's a long story.
The eugenics back then are leading today, or in the months or years to come, to the artificial intelligence-based eugenics. That's what they're going to offer and propose to parents. Select the genes for your child, and we'll do it for you. We'll pick the one.
Kinsey was in that too, because they had what did they call it? Well, anyway, they had this. You could find, PhDs would give their sperm banks. Yeah. So the intellectual sperm banks followed I don't remember who it was. I wrote about it, but I remember now. One of his followers, it was Mueller, I think, wasn't it? I don't remember. Yes, I think it was. Started the first genius sperm bank. Yeah. So you could go, you're an upscale family. I mean, upscale mom and dad. You don't want to have to, just have a regular old baby. So you go to the, but we don't have any problem killing them in the womb. But okay. So you'd go to the sperm bank and get this genius sperm. Who you don't know who the guy was, yeah, that gave you the sperm, but you get a genius sperm, and you're gonna, have your babies. But I think I read some of the research from that, and they just simply didn't turn out any geniuses.